Good Monday morning, 5th grade. All right, we're going to try and doing things just maybe a little bit differently this week. We do have 5 days of math this week, but I think we're going to do where we just have IXL on one day instead of math, pages, and IXL. I think that was a little long for you guys in math last week. Bear with us, guys. We're still trying to figure this out and what works best. So I think this week we're just going to have one day of IXL as your math. You do have a math test on Wednesday. There will be a video for you to watch before you take your math test. I'm going to go over the math test with you in the video. So please watch the video before you take your math test on Wednesday. All right, today is just a review page. We're going to be on page 257 in your books. I'm going to go through this quickly because it is just a review page. Perimeter, that's what we're reviewing, is perimeter. Remember, we talked about it's the distance around a polygon. To find the perimeter of an odd shape, you have to add all the sides together. Now remember, a polygon is a simple closed figure with line segments. Some of y'all last week on your test, you had a little problem with figuring out what a polygon was. It's a simple closed figure with line segments. All right, and then this is how you do a rectangle, 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. And then the square, I didn't put the square one on there, but the square one is just 4 times the sides. Okay, 4 times the sides. Sorry, my bad. Okay, here we go. We're on page 257. It says, find the perimeter for these scale drawings. All right, so for the first one, we have 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So we can do that out here. 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So 2 times the length is going to be 4.5. So remember, I cannot I cannot multiply by a mixed number. So I've got to change that to an improper fraction. So 2 times whole times bottom plus top is 9/2 plus 2 times, this was my length, this is my width, whole times bottom plus top is 8/3. Now I multiply those. I can cancel my 2 and my 2 there, so I'm really just left with 9. I'm going to come over here. So 9 plus, I can't cancel anything here. So 2 times 8 is 16. So this gives me 16/3. If you want to, you could go ahead and do this. You could do 16/3 right there. If you want to do that, and you can cancel your 3 becomes a 1 and your 9 becomes a 3. And then you could just multiply 16 times 3, or you could have gone ahead and changed 16/3 to 5 1/3 and then added it like that. Okay? Either way, you're going to get the same answer. 3 times 16, 3 plus 16 is going to give me 19. So my answer here is 19 yards. Make sure you label it. Okay? My next one is a triangle. Remember, this is an odd shape, so I could just add each side, 98.1 plus 98.1 plus 98.1, or I can do 98.1 times 3. And I'm going to get the same answer. I'm going to go ahead and write my answer down here on the line. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 8 is 24. Put my 4 down, carry my 2. And 3 times 9 is 27 plus 2 is 29. Can't leave it like that. I have 1 space right here behind my decimal. So I need 1 space right there in my answer. So my answer is 294 3/10 of a meter. All right, and the last one, this is a perimeter of a square. Remember how we find perimeter of a square is 4 times the side. 4 times the side, not 4 times 6. And what is my side? It's 8. So 4 times 8, which is what? 32 feet. all the way around that. All right, the next one, it says find the perimeter for rectangles having these dimensions. I'm going to try and remember to do this right today, guys. Remember the word by means your width is first. So here we go. Write this out, 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. If it helps you guys, you could switch that. You could do 2 times the width plus 2 times the length, and you would just have everything lined up properly. But once again, if you forget to do your width first, it's okay. You're going to get the same answer. So here we go. 2 times 46, which is my width, plus 2 times 33, which is my length. So 2 times 46 gives me 92. And 2 times 33 gives me 66. If you can't do those in your head, then you would do those on a little scrap piece of paper. At least you know the process of how we're doing it. So 92 plus 66 gives me 158 feet. And you make sure you put a period behind it. All right, the next one. 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. 2 times length plus 2 times width. So 2 times 1900, because that's my length, plus 2 times, that was my width, plus 2 times 14, because that is really my length, because I'm using the word by here. Once again, if you want to do 2 times 14 first, plus 2 times 1900 second, totally fine, you're going to get the same answer. So for the first one, it is going to give me, hold on. I'm going to go back and erase this. Sorry, guys. If I can get this back erased, it'll take me just a second. Yes, I'm clicking. All right. I forgot one thing. Look at this, guys. It's going to make it easier, too. Millimeters, meters, centimeters. Okay? That was my bad. It says to go to the greater unit. And it's okay. We can do that. Which is greater, meters or centimeters? I know you're all probably really mad right now because you're having to erase things in your book. But make sure you erase it and do it right. Meters is my larger one. So I need to get centimeters to my larger unit. And when I go smaller to larger, I divide. So what am I going to divide 1900 by? How many centimeters are in a meter? 100. So if I take 100, goes into 1900, guys, it's really easy. There's 100, there's 2 zeros in 100, there's 2 zeros here. Knock them off. So 1900 centimeters is 19 meters. Now I can solve it. So let's go back. 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. We're going to do 19 first because that's my my width comes first, and my width is is my 14. So 2 times 14 here. So 2 times 19 is 38. Plus 2 times 14 is 34. Sorry, it's 28. Guys, it's Monday morning for me too, so I'm struggling this morning. So this is going to give me 66 meters. I do not put a period after it because it is metric. Okay, we're not going to do this one because it's green, so don't panic. But what would I go to, feet or yards, if I was going to the greater one? I'd have to go to yards. I'd have to go to yards. Okay, let's keep going. All right, the next section, we've got 2 to do down here. All right, so let's solve these. 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So 2 times 93.6 plus 2 times 84.9. All right, if you work those out, you're going to get 187.2. And then on your second one, you're going to get 169.8. Okay, now I know I probably just gave you those, but the process here is not, do you know how to multiply? The process here is do you know your formula and be able to put your numbers into your formula. And when you add those up, you do need to make sure that you keep your decimals lined up, and you're going to get 357. Now, if you do 357.0, which that's what you would get, that's fine. You don't have to have your zero back there, because remember, zeros behind the decimal mean absolutely, say it with me, nothing. So this is meters, and it's the metric system, so no period. All right, the next one. We have here, length is 4 feet, 8 inches, and then 3 feet is your width. And it tells me I have to go to the larger one. So this right here, I have got to change inches into feet. Okay, well, how many inches are in a foot? 12. I don't have 12. I only have 8. So remember, I put what I have over what I need, 8/12. I can reduce that down to what? To 3/4. So 8 inches is 3/4 of a foot. And don't forget about your 4 over there. I'm trying to circle it and it's not letting me. Don't forget about your 4. So this is really 4 and 3/4 for that right there. Okay, so now that I have them both in the same last name, I can go ahead and solve it. So 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. All right, so 2 times 4 and 3/4. That's it right there, 4 and 3/4. Let's go ahead and change that to an improper fraction, because I cannot multiply by a mixed number. So 4 times 4 is 16 plus 3 is 19/4. Plus 2 times 3. Okay. All right. Here we go. I keep checking myself just to make sure I have done this right. And I have not. Once again, guys, it's Monday. So this should be a 2. Just change that to a 2. Okay. And this should be, I'm using a 4, and this should be a 3. So 2/3. So when I do this now, I should get, let's see here. 4 times 3 is 12, so I should get 14 here, not 19. All right, stick with me. I can cancel a 2 and a 4, becomes a 1 and a 2. So I would get 14 over 2 right here, plus 6. All right, and let's see. What do I get when I multiply this out? I'm going to get 13. Let me make sure I'm correct here. Once again, for some reason, I'm having a hard time with this one, guys. Okay, let's see here. 12, 13, 14. Oh, and I can't cancel because this should have been a 3 on the bottom. I know I'm doing stuff wrong. That should be a 3 on the bottom. Okay, so I'm just going to come right over here and redo this one. So this should be 2 times 14/3 plus 2 times 3. My 14/3 came from 4 and 2/3 right here. All right, I cannot cancel anything here. So this is going to give me 28/3 plus 6. 3 goes into 28. 9 and 1/3 plus 6, which gives me 15 and 1/3 feet. Oh, guys, we made it through that one. If I was in school, I'm doing it just like if I was in school. I would have made those mistakes too. And guys, I just really didn't want to start back over my video. So there you go. 15 and 1/3. If you don't get that one, I understand. I totally understand. All right, it says, John can walk to school in 3/4 of an hour. He says he can ride his bike to school. He says he can ride to school on his bike in 1/3 of that time. How long does it take him to ride his bike to school? All right, so what we're going to do here is let's just 3/4 of an hour, and we want 1/3 of that time. So remember what I said of meant? I'm going to take 3/4 and I'm going to times it by 1/3. Okay, because 3/4 of that time. So I can cancel. That becomes a 1 and a 1. And I go straight across, and this becomes 1/4, and I'm going to say it's 1/4 of an hour. Okay? All right, Victoria begins work at 7:45 a.m. and works 8 hours, and she only takes a half an hour off for lunch. What time does she get off work? All right, well, let's go up 8 hours from 7:45, and then we'll subtract 30 minutes. Okay? So here we go. So 7:45 to 8:45 is 1, 9:45, 10:45, 11:45, 12:45, 1:45, 2:45, 3:45 is 8 hours. That's not taking her break. Okay? That's not taking her break. So she has to work 30 extra minutes because in the 8 hours that she did, she took time off. She took 30 minutes off. Okay, so she has to work 30 more minutes to make up for that half an hour she took off. So if I'm at 3:45, what is 30 minutes more than 3:45? Can you think of it? A half an hour later than 3:45? It is going to be 4:15. Don't forget your PM. She gets off at 4:15 p.m. All right, I really need y'all paying attention to stuff like this because this kind of stuff is on your test on Wednesday. You have a test on Wednesday. All right, Anna bought 3 bookmarks for 75 cents. We want to know how much would it cost for 9 bookmarks. Okay, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can take 75 cents and divide it by 3 to figure out how much they are a piece. Or you can figure out how many 3s are in 9. Either way, it will get you to the right answer. So if you do how many 3 goes into 75, it's going to go 25 times. So that means they're 25 cents a piece. And then you could multiply that times 9. So 25 cents times 9. Or I could say how many 3s are in 9? How many sets of 3s are in 9? There's 3 sets. So she's going to buy 3 sets of bookmarks because there's 3 in a set. So if I do that, I'm going to take 75 and I'm going to times it by 3. Okay? And when I do that, that is going to give me $2.25. You would have gotten the same answer either way. All right, and D. Allison picked 3/4 of a bushel of green beans for her aunt. Her aunt gave her 1/5 of them. What part of the bushel did she receive? Okay, so 3/4, and her aunt gave her 1/5 of those 3/4. Remember, of means to multiply. There's nothing I can cancel here, so I'm going to get 3/20. 3/20 of the bushel is what her aunt gave her. All right, this last one right here, guys, it's so easy. Please don't panic. We're just going to do the first one right here. Don't panic. If you want to do both of these, they both work out evenly. Okay, so let's figure out the first one where we're going to start. Will 625 go into 5? No. 50? No. 500? No. 5,000? Yes, we're going to start it right on top of that 0 right there. So with your fingers, I want you covering up the 25 on the outside and all the zeros. Will 6 go into 5? No. So uncover 1 0. How many times will 6 go into 50? It goes 8 times. And I already figured this out right there. That's where I'm going to start. So 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 2 is 16 plus the 4 is going to give me 20. And 8 times 6 is 48 plus that 2 gives me 50. Don't you dare say, oh, I'm done. No, you're not. You got to fill in all these zeros on the top. There you go. So sorry, guys, for butchering this page right here. All right, real fast. I'm going to try and get you as close to the end of this as possible. Complete the bar graph for the story problem. It says, during the family vacation, Caleb and his father went fishing. On Wednesday, they caught 3 fish, Thursday 7, and Friday 5, and Saturday 8. So here we go. You don't have probably a highlighter. If you do, congratulations. You should have all your highlighters because I sent them all home with you. Okay, so on Wednesday, they caught 3 fish. So I'm just going to go up to 3, right? Yep, there you go. On Thursday, they caught 7 fish. So I'm going all the way up to 7. On Friday, they caught 5 fish. So I'm just going to go to 5. And on Saturday, they caught all 8 fish. Now, it does say find the total amount of fish that they caught. So that would be 5 plus 7 is 12. Sorry, it'd be 3 plus 7 would be 10. Plus 5 is 15. Plus 8. 15 plus 8 is 23 fish. All right, the next one. You're going to go plot your points. Some of you were having a hard time with this one when we left school. Okay, now they're counting by 2s over here. But not all of these on the top are even numbers. You're just going to have to put it between the 2 numbers that it comes from. So on this spelling test, test 1, this little guy right here got a 91. So I stay on test 1 and go up to 91 and plot it on the line. 91 is between 90 and 92. All right, 90 on test 2, he got a 97. So that is between 96 and 98. Stay on the line right there. My pen doesn't want to work. All right, and don't forget, you're going to connect those with a straight line. No curly lines. All right, test 3, a 95. So I go over to test 3. Remember, like an airplane, you go over first, then up. And I point the line between 92 and 94 because that's where 93 becomes. Don't forget, stay on that test 3 line. The next one, ooh, he did not study. This little fella did not study for test number 4. He got an 84. So I go over to test 4 and whoa, I don't go anywhere. I stay on that line because that's where test 4 is at 84. 88, test 5. So I go over to 5. I stay on that line. Stay on the line and go up to test 5. Plot your point on 88 and connect them. Test 6, 89. So I go over to test 6, stay on that line and follow it up to 89. 89 is between 88 and 90. Test 7 is 93. So I go all the way over to test 7. I follow that line and I'm going to put a 93 between 92 and 94. Test 8, he actually got a 92 on. So I'm going to stay on the line on test 8 and all the way up to the 92 line right there. Plot it and connect. Test 9, he got a 97. So I'm going to go over to test 9, up to 97. 97 is between 96 and 98, and I'm going to plot that point. Stay on the lines. And test 10, he got a 94, so I'm going to go all the way over to test 10 and go up to the line that says 94. Stay on that line. There you go. You just plotted it. All right. This right here, guys, is a picture of New York City. This, my friend, is where I should have been this past weekend. I was not going to be at school this past weekend because I was going to New York City, but God chose to change my plans, and I will be going in the near future. But I keep this as a picture just to remind me that one day I'll get there. All right, guys, have fun. You have the rest of this to do. If you do not have a ruler on number 8, don't worry about it. Okay, so you need to finish up those 4 problems for me today. All right, guys, love y'all. Have a safe day. See you later.